Basketball Podcast Playoff Edition. There we go. I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
And this is our basketball podcast. We recap, break down, and analyze players and teams in the playoffs from the previous games from the previous week. And Ja, the last time we were here, there was a whole group discussion with all of our good friends. Some of them close, some of them not so. And we were mainly talking about the Brooklyn Nets Celtics series, the ending of that, the sweep, as well as some other series. But since then, the first round has been completed. All teams have moved on.
Yeah.
And every team that moved on were the higher seed. Second, third, fourth, and first. So no upsets in terms of the seeding.
Yeah.
I can't remember the last time this happened.
I don't pay attention to that. I'll be honest.
But hey, before what we're gonna do mainly on this episode is we're going to preview and predict the second round of the NBA playoffs. But before that, if you've been following us all season long, this man across from me has taken some interest into two particular teams. One, the Chicago Bulls. We won't, like I said, this Bull season ended a few days ago. We won't go too in depth, but I just want to hear your thoughts. Please, I gotta hear your thoughts about, winning a game in Milwaukee, having that momentum, your favorite player dropping 41. No, bring your camera back. Come on. Face the consequences. You have to. And I faced Knicks consequences for 21 years. Face consequences. So you thought things would get better. And not only that, the unfortunate injury to Chris Middleton for the Bucks, you would think that, the Bulls, they actually have a chance. And they're going home. And they just got to win. This is going to be a series now. And you wouldn't be wrong to think that. Except if you were on the Bulls. Because apparently they didn't think that. Because they came in, the United Center, Chicago, that Bulls jersey, and stunk up the joint in back-to-back games on their home floor. This was no contest. This was a blowout in back-to-back games.
Yeah.
You would think that they would show some effort, show some intensity. Come out full force. There was a team that came out full force. It just wasn't them. And by that time, after, when you would think they can get a win on their home floor, which a lot of teams in the first round have done, gotten a win on their home floor. There's only two teams that did not get a win on their home floor. The Brooklyn Nets, who got swept, and the Chicago Bulls. And then by that time, game 5, please, series is over. They got dominated in game 5, just like I got dominated in game 3, just like I got dominated in game 4. But I'll pass it to you. Well, how you feeling about this particular embarrassment?
It's nothing for me to feel about. There's really nothing for me to feel about. Regardless, Milwaukee was still going to win the series.
Oh, no. We're not doing that.
No, Milwaukee was going to win the series.
We're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. Because you was hyped.
I never said that the Bulls. I never said that the Bulls was going to advance.
You got the Bucks in 6, correct?
Yeah, I had the Bucks in 6.
How many games did they win?
4 out of 5.
No, they won 1.
Oh, you said the Bulls. I thought you said the Bucks.
But the Bulls won 1. You would think that they can get one more win. No.
It is what it is.
Clearly, He doesn't have much words because he's just so disappointed in the Bulls. And honestly, we all are. I know Chicago Bulls fans are. But let's see what happens next year. Maybe it's bright for Chicago. They got it. They got it.
Nowhere near bright.
Lonzo comes back, healthy squad. Zach LaVine stays out of protocol, please.
Nowhere near bright.
DeMar shows up. Well, that's never happened. So, well, maybe we get 3 out of 4 or 2 out of 3. Maybe get 2 out of 3.
There's no bright light. They stunk up the place that MJ has built. There's no bright. There's no shining moments anymore.
Well, that's one embarrassment. But like you said, most people still pick the Bucks to win. Let's go to another embarrassment. Another team that you followed. Another team that you love.
Not say I followed. I did not.
No. Don't interrupt.
I did not follow them.
And with this specific team, he was more on the bandwagon with this specific team because with the Bulls, they just had his favorite player. He loved DeMar. But for this team, they had one of his favorite players, and he was actually riding with them. He liked the other players around him. He had his pops, Pat Bev, on it. He had other players like D'Lo that he likes, Anthony Edwards that he likes. So now this was his team.
Okay, I didn't. You see, not do that. Saying it's my team.
This is your team. And the Minnesota Timberwolves showed they are too young and too inexperienced. And they're just not ready for this. They're not ready for the playoffs. Because if we're all being honest, and if everybody has watched the games, Minnesota should have won in 5. They should have beat the Grizzlies in 5.
They should have.
But when you're young, inexperienced, undisciplined, you have no structure on your team, and you have a bad coach. Like I said, I do not believe in the Timberwolves coach, Chris Finch. You blow 1, 2, 3. Fourth quarter, double-digit leads. 3, including one game in which you blew a 25 and 26-point lead in the same game. How? But hey, pass to you. You want to explain the Minnesota Timberwolves?
I'll explain why. Along with those things that you said, let's be honest. Let's not be stupid here and act like the Grizzlies are not a young team. They're a young team also. But you want to know what they have over the Minnesota Timberwolves? Experience in adversity, coaching and in experience, and they have a whole lot of experience in adversity. Despite a team that is so young, the Memphis Grizzlies has been in situations that were so deep, like playoff deep, like that they were already ready and battle tested. And let's be honest, the Minnesota Timberwolves hasn't been to the playoffs since they had Jimmy Butler, who is now making Miami Heat into championship possible contenders. And before Jimmy Butler, they never been to the playoffs since we were babies. So does it shock me that this happened? Not really. Am I upset that it happened? Hell yeah, man, I'm upset that it happened. Because how do you blow those leads? Like, that's the problem. That was the constant problem. The fact that they just had leads and they couldn't contain leads in the fourth quarter. They blew off having the momentum at the wrong moment. If you're up by 20 in the first quarter and you let it go, fine. Because then eventually the flow of the game shows, like, sometimes things like that, things change course. But when it happens in crunch time moments and moments where it matters the most, like fourth quarter, 5 minutes left to go, and you're up double digits with an opportunity to continue, and you make a team get a momentum, especially Memphis, because you already know they degenerates. Yeah, it's over. And I lost all faith from that point. Like, let me tell you something. I'll admit,
you give up on Cat.
I had to. I didn't give up on Cat. No, that's not that. So I had work, so I had to go to sleep a little bit earlier. I had work at an early time, so I had to go sleep a little bit. So it was, mind you, I still was able to catch some of the fourth quarter. I was able to catch the second half, got towards the end, Minnesota was up by like, let me say 12 to end the third quarter. By the time the fourth quarter hit, like legit a minute in, boom, it was a 4-point game. All I saw, I don't remember who it was. I think it was Titus Jones and somebody else. I don't know who it was.
Tyrese.
Yep. Hit 2 big threes. And just like that, it went from 9 points all the way to 6 points. And then, I think Brandon Clark hit 2 free throws, 4 points, just like that. Mind you, Memphis was just down by 12. And look how quick the course did. That's why I knew I fell asleep at a bad moment because I knew it was going to go bad from right then and there. I'm happy I fell asleep. I'm so happy I fell asleep because I wouldn't be able to take watching the end of the game. I really couldn't take watching the end of the game, bro.
Yeah, I think you would have been disappointed. This is like Minnesota Timberwolves fans. We're disappointed. Like I said, this team is just too young, too inexperienced, and I think they need a better coach and a better structure and a better system in play because that should not happen. Timberwolves should beat the Grizzlies. They should have upset the Grizzlies. They played better than them for the first 3.5 quarters.
Exactly.
Or for the first 3 quarters, let's say. First 2.5 quarters. But they couldn't close out.
Yeah, and especially with Ja Morant having a cold game, you got to take advantage. You got to take advantage of that, and they have not taken advantage of when things like that have happened.
Yep. But that's enough of the Minnesota Timberwolves. Enjoy your off season. Cat probably doing a 24-hour stream. But enjoy your off season, Cat.
Hey, Anthony Edwards is the best player on the team now.
See, yeah, you just dropped him. See, you dropped him. You lost faith on your mans. That's not your mans anymore.
Nah, with his mentality, yeah, I'm sorry. I can't believe I got to say this, but I agree with Cherno. Can't believe I had to really say that. That's crazy.
But all right, let's move on. I will not move on. Let's stay on the Grizzlies, as a matter of fact, because they will now go into the second round. Second seed, have home court. But it is no easy task because they will face the Golden State.
Oh, it's over. It's over. It's over. I'm sorry. I don't care what the regular season says. We saw what happened. The teams that did good against certain teams in the regular season, we saw what happened in playoffs. It's over. Warriors in 5.
Well, let me break this down for a minute. Okay, so Warriors just came off that 5-game win against the Denver Nuggets, reigning MVP Nikola Jokic, who had an outstanding series despite being doubled and triple teamed and all the attention on him.
Get his ass slapped, yeah.
But still, Jokic was still proving and showing why he is an MVP and why he might win the MVP again. Yeah. But in that series, even though the Warriors won by 5, I think they exposed themselves a little bit. I think I found out what the Warriors' weakness is. That is the paint. You know, they go to a small ball. You know, they got that depth lineup. It's almost indestructible. It would be indestructible if Draymond was 6'10". Draymond's what, 6'6"?
6'6", 6'7". He played defense on Jokic at times.
But Jokic is still Jokic. Yeah. But that's not really what I'm going at because Jokic is an MVP. I'm not gonna be like, oh, you couldn't guard him. Nobody could guard Jokic. What I'm saying is the Nuggets, where they thrived was the paint. Getting buckets in the paint, offensive rebounds. You saw DeMarcus Cousins came out clutch in the last game for them. It was all mainly paint presence. If the Grizzlies want to have a shot to beat this Warriors team, they need to attack. You're not going to outshoot Jordan Poole, Stephen Curry, and Klay Thompson. Let's just get out of the way. You're not going to. So don't try. If you want to win, it needs to be a paint presence. You need to attack. You need to play through there. And maybe then you can get your shooters open. Then you can get your knockdown guys and making their 3-point shots. But it has to revolve around the paint. But the Grizzlies don't have Nikola Jokic. That's one. And 2, even without that, they don't have the talent of the Golden State Warriors. They don't have the structure of the Golden State Warriors. They don't have the offense, defensives, the stars, and the coaching of the Golden State Warriors. They are just too good. And when you see that Timberwolves and Grizzlies series, you see the weakness of the Grizzlies. They get down. They start out games slow sometimes. And they can get down big and then hope for a big comeback. Against the Timberwolves, that worked. I guarantee that will not work against the Golden State Warriors.
That would never work against the Golden State Warriors.
Now, this will come down to coaching, Taylor Jenkins, and adjustments in reorganizing this team to make sure that doesn't happen in this series. But either way, based off what I saw how the Grizzlies played against the Timberwolves, and maybe there will be adjustments, Golden State Warriors, I got them in 5.
Same answer here. And we're just going to keep it at that because when you got the greatest 6-man ever in Stephen Curry, nothing could go wrong.
Yeah, well, there you go. All right. Let's move on to another series. Let's move on to, well, we got the Heat in the background, even though it's 2013 Heat, but let's talk about the Miami Heat going up against the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, with the unfortunate news of Embiid being out indefinitely, that's obviously a big loss to the Sixers team. You're not going to beat the Heat without Embiid. Let's just get that out the way. I mean, I didn't even have them beating the Heat with Embiid. I had the Heat in 6. And now they'll be lucky to win a game. Depending on the timetable, depending on when Embiid's returns or not.
Well, they say he's out indefinitely, so we don't know if he's ever going to come back. But I say this. I know he's been not his star self. I know he's been out of it, and I know it's just been too much. But at the end of the day, regardless of what we like to say, James Harden is still a productive player in this game. Tyrese Maxey, hopefully he could do what he did last series. But I don't look at this as being a sweep nor a 5-game series. I feel like the Miami Heat could still potentially win this in 6 over the Sixers if Harden steps up big time, if Maxey does what he does, and Doc Rivers being the coach that he is, he just got to make adjustments. I know you wanted to make a joke talking about the 3-1 leads.
I wasn't gonna say.
No. But at the end of the day, he's a good coach and he knows how to run his team and he knows how to put them in the right situations to be successful in certain moments. You know,
Doc Rivers is a good coach. I swear I would not be talking about him if he blew that 3-0 lead. But he didn't. Congratulations. Didn't blow a 3-0 lead. You lost 2 games and got your star hurt. But yeah, sure. For the Heat, and you saying Harden didn't have his best game until the final game of the series. He didn't have a good game until the final game of the series with the Raptors. Now, Heat's defense, did you see they melted Ice Trae?
Yeah, they melted, but Ice Trae still won a game.
Off of a lucky game winner. Yeah, okay.
They swept them.
He should have. They should have. But they got that 1 win. And listen, for the Sixers to have a chance, they need to hope that Embiid can come back by game 4. And they need to steal a win. If they can steal 1 win and have the series be 2-1 and then Embiid comes back, they'll have a chance.
Yeah.
But anything past that, if Embiid is coming back game 5, that's it. He has to come back game 4 or quicker. And even then, they still might lose because this Heat team is just a different breed. That, they're dogs, they're animals. They're ready for this. They want that championship. They're hungry. They want to go back to the finals. They're ready to prove themselves. Jimmy Butler, you see the way he was playing. Nothing like the old Jimmy Butler, not like the fake one we saw last year.
Jimmy Buckets.
Not the one that got outscored by Bryn Forbes. No, not that one. We seeing how Jimmy Butler plays, playoff Butler. And we see this defense, and we see PJ Tucker, we see Bam. their defense is. We're gonna talk about the other team, but it's similar to how the Celtics. It's like it spreads. It's within everybody.
Yeah.
And that's why this Heat team in 5, I got them beating the Sixers because they're just on a different level, especially without Embiid. Way different level. Tyrese too young for them to be saying, "Oh, you got to step up." If Tyrese had that cushion of a Embiid, yeah. But now you are partially the main focus. You and Harden now, and Harden, Harden. You don't know what Harden you're gonna get sometimes in playoff time. I'm not gonna tell Tyrese Maxey, this young player that just came into his own this season, to be like, "Hey, lead us against this great team, against this experienced veteran team, this culture structured team." No, I'm not doing
you don't have to do that, but you just gotta. I wouldn't say that, but if I was Doc Rivers, I would just tell Maxey, to be honest with you. There's obviously you want to tell him that there's a likely chance that we're going to lose the series. That's a stupid thing to do as a coach. As a young guy who's trying to get his foot wet into the league and has been doing some really good things since when did Tyrese Maxey come into the league? Like
2 years ago, I think.
2 years, a year ago, whatsoever. Play your game. Forget about all the noise or whatsoever, or the fact that facing this great Heat team and the great defense that they have. Play your game. Go out there, play your game. Whatever happens, happens. It comes with the bad, it comes with the good. Play your game. And let's see what the outcome is. Because there's no Embiid. So even though that's a bad thing, you get more of an opportunity to shine now. That's all I'm saying. I'm not putting no pressure in to tell him to lead. I'm not telling him to be no leader. I said no. No, I don't expect you to do that. But I expect you to still do what you were doing, especially when the series started, when the playoffs started for us and the way you was playing. That's all I want you to do. Just go out, play your game like you was. That's all I'm asking him to do. I'm not asking him to be no star, be no leader, no nothing. Go out there, play your game.
Well, we'll see if Tyrese can play his game when he called for a pick and roll and TV Tucker's on him, and then it switches to Bam, and then they call another screen and Jimmy switches onto him.
And at the end of the day, yes, again, this Heat defense is great, but also, to be honest, you saw in those last series, other players stepped up. And you know who I'm looking at now? I'm looking at Tobias.
I know he's
looking at Tobias Harris, who's been a professional scorer in this league for a long ass time, and we don't know where he disappeared off the face of the earth. He needs to show up. He needs to show up also. It's not just Harden or Tyrese. He has to show up. And B's not here. You should be putting up at least 20. Please put up at least 20. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. I agree with that statement. If they can get about 20 from Tobias, get about 18 for Tyrese, maybe 23 from Harden,
then they have a chance. Mm-hmm. It's a slim one, but still a chance.
Yeah, but like I said, Sixers, if y'all can just steal one win and maybe hope for Embiid to come back by game 4, we'll see. But I got the Heat in 5. You got the Heat in 6. Yeah, I ain't rocking with that. All right.
I was going to pick them in the sweep. I can tell you that.
Let's go back to the Western Conference. And after that amazing performance by the point guard himself, in the house he helped build, in the city he made relevant in basketball, Chris Paul, you know how many shots Chris Paul missed? Same amount of shots as we missed.
I think it's this type of shape. Or like this type of circumference.
Chris Paul didn't miss a single shot against New Orleans. Oh, he's coming back. And he coming off of that. Devin Booker's only getting healthier. But hey.
Like this?
This Phoenix Suns team, who are everybody's favorites, saw a little bit of doubt with the Pelicans. And credit to Jose Alvarado, the rookies, Jose Alvarado and Herbert Jones, two pests, playing great defense all series long. Credit to Brandon Ingram, who was their best offensive player all series long. Credit to CJ McCollum. And credit to Willie Green. This Pelicans team is going to be dangerous down the road. And they're only young, and I think they're only going to get better. But let's leave it off with the Pelicans there. The Suns, the title favorites, championship favorites that everybody has seen them as. Now beat the Pelicans. Booker's back. He's got to be healthier now. But they have the task going up against the Dallas Mavericks, who just won their first playoff series since they won the NBA championship 2011.
Embarrassing. Go on.
Sorry, D-Wade. But Dallas Mavericks, after just beating the Utah Jazz, I'm not going to go in on Jazz. I'm not. I'm just going to say they beat them. Beating Utah Jazz by Quinn Snyder. Beating the Utah Jazz, and now they have this momentum. And as you saw in this Utah series, everything didn't revolve around Luka Doncic.
Yeah.
They won 2 games without Luka Doncic. Now, not to say that they don't they don't need Luka. Obviously, he's their star player. He's one of the best players in the league. They need him to get far. But now you can see other players can step up. The owner of the Utah Jazz, Jalen Brunson, I mean, he did absolute vibes in the series. Spencer Dinwiddie played great. Reggie Bullock stepped up. You see, they have a good offensive-defensive combo. And if the Suns are caught sleeping, the Mavericks can upset them in this series.
Yes, they can. And yeah, you got cold-blooded Doncic, who's been a professional since he was like 8 years old. Cool and all. But I'm looking at Jalen Iverson, bro. Jalen Iverson went crazy. He went berserk, went off. In my opinion, I think you could make the case for the fact, and this is no disrespect to this potential superstar, but I felt like in the duel, he outplayed Donovan.
Jalen?
Yeah, I really feel like Jalen outplayed. I feel like that backcourt outplayed the Jazz backcourt easily.
Oh, 1,000%. Oh my! Don't please. Yeah, let's not talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. And they shown, and I feel like Jason Kidd has made them play with the freedom. They're playing small ball just like how the Phoenix Suns could play small ball. But I think the difference that sets Phoenix apart from Dallas is they have tremendous defense. They really have tremendous defense that could contain Luka, but give all the other guys on the Dallas Mavericks a whole lot of problems because they know how to play team ball, especially out on the perimeter, which goes into the post in terms of the way they defend. And I feel like that is what's going to push Phoenix Suns over the hump. Because offensively, I feel like these teams are kind of equal with the way that they run. Probably Phoenix is more faster, but I feel like they're more equal offensively. I feel like defense is what's going to set this series apart. Because Dallas don't play no defense, let's be honest.
They've been playing better defense. They play pretty good defense against the Jazz in a few games.
Well, when you disrespecting Gobert, of course you're gonna play defense easily. Like damn.
I think with the talent of the Mavericks, they have a chance. They definitely have a chance. I'm not just gonna say it. I'm gonna say I'm counting them out.
Yeah.
They have the talent. They have the roster. They have the superstar on the team, and Luka Doncic. And he's obviously ready for the moment. He's always been ready for the moment.
Yeah.
But Suns team is just things that they just do a little bit better in each category. One of them, mainly defense. But the Suns team, they're ready for it. They've been built for it. They've been preparing for this. I got the Suns in 6.
Same. And I wouldn't be surprised if it goes to Game 7, to be honest.
We'll see what happens. No Game 7s in the first round. We'll see if we can get one in the second round. And speaking of last but certainly not least, after sweeping and shocking Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, the number 1 ranked defense in the league, led by Marcus Smart and Jason Tatum, the Boston Celtics now look to beat the reigning defending NBA champions, the Milwaukee Bucks, who will be without Chris Middleton in this series. I'll let you go first with your prediction.
Well, this is the most exciting matchup in the second round, and potentially has the opportunity to be the best playoff matchup, best series or matchup throughout these playoffs. Boston versus Milwaukee. Two great defensive teams led by. Would you call Tatum a superstar now, or no?
Yeah. I would call him a superstar.
Okay, led by two great superstars and Tatum and Giannis in the game. I want to see what Boston could do to Giannis. I really
Yes.
want to see what Boston could do to Giannis. Because no
Mhm.
disrespect, let's be honest. If they could do that to two of the most skilled players in the game and take them and demoralize them and dehumanize them the way they did, I wonder what they're going to do to a superhuman with a crazy ass motor like Giannis Antetokounmpo, because it's going to be scary and hilarious at the same time. But Boston, once again, is way better than they were last year, and they have the upper advantage because Milwaukee's not at full strength, and I don't think Giannis could beat Boston by himself. So the only way Milwaukee has a chance is Drew Holiday got to be their second star, of course, and he got to step up big. And again, everyone has to show up. They got to play that spreading out kind of game that they always play in terms of having the type of shooters that they have, and they still got to be predicated to doing it defensively, like how Boston was predicated to doing it defensively. Do I feel like Boston has more offense? Yeah, I do. I do feel like that. I feel like they have more spacing, more spreading out, and they have more players who can operate in a half-court setting more than Milwaukee. I say this is going to a game 7. I don't know who's going to win, but I'm just going to say it's going to a game 7.
Why you not picking?
I don't know. This is too close. I know they without Middleton, but I still feel like, again, with the greatness of Giannis, it's still too close, man. Because Giannis is basically LeBron back in the day, bro. He could just single-handedly just do some vibes. I don't know what it is, but he could just do vibes.
The main thing I'm looking for in this series is, you already touched upon it, how the Celtics can guard Giannis, because they shut down KD and Kyrie, but obviously their play styles is different from Giannis's play style.
Yeah.
And Giannis's motor, hustle, strength, physicality, and I'm just gonna go at you. You gotta know I'm gonna go at you, and you're still not gonna be doing anything to stop me from going at you.
Yeah.
Because I'm like that. That's basically Giannis's game.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna come down, Euro step, spin move, or whatever. Sometimes get in the post, back you down.
Yeah, because let me tell you something. There's a difference. Let me tell you something right now, really quickly. There's a difference. The Boston Celtics' whole game plan was to get up into KD, right? When they was facing Brooklyn, right? Get up to him, make it physical, touch him up or so. Not saying that was facing KD, not saying that KD was afraid, but you can obviously see they made him so uncomfortable that KD made mistakes that we never saw KD make before, especially in pressured moments. He's always cool, calm, and collected. Well, let me tell you something. I ain't working against Giannis. Giannis loves all the bumps, all the hits, all the scratches that you could give him. He's gonna be like, I love it. You know how New Yorkers be like, yeah, I like that. I like that. Yeah. I like that. That's how he gonna be like against this series against Boston. He gonna turn into a New Yorker. Trust him to lead.
See, but that's the thing. Where they went physical with KD, I think they're going to subtract from that a little bit to where Giannis gets physical with them. They draw fouls and they get him in foul trouble. That's what I predict the Boston Celtics is going to do. Mark Smart is going to be a key player in that, in drawing charges and having Giannis play too aggressive, which he can be guilty of at times. And I believe that's the game. That's going to be the game plan of the Boston Celtics. Get him to play too physical, get him to play too reckless.
And get to foul trouble. Yeah.
Yes. And that's why I think, especially with Middleton not playing, as much as it hurts me to say this, because Giannis is my favorite player, I got the Celtics in 7.
Hey man, I'm not choosing yet. I'm sorry. No, I'm
They'll
never
leave me
gonna,
on an island by myself.
I'm never gonna choose, man. I'm sorry.
I think the Celtics team, they've shown already what they can do. I think it's going to be a similar story. Not a sweep. Please, not a sweep. But shutting down the best player or containing him, at least.
Well, I say this, Giannis, you better do two things. You better start wearing some more Black Force Air Force Ones. You better start eating some Oreos with some milk.
But if the Bucks want to have a chance in this series, other guys have to step up. Just like how the other guys stepped up in the Bulls series after Middleton went down. Brook Lopez, I'm going to need the same energy from you. Bobby Portis, I'm going to need that. Drew Holiday, please be consistent in this series. Mm-hmm. That's for the Bucks to have a chance in this series. Yeah. What's funny?
Nah, I'm just thinking about this matchup, and you remember that first game of the regular season when when these teams went at it, I kind of clowned Giannis for what he did.
Oh yeah, you love that. Well, this was last year, and Tatum did a step back bank shot 3 over Giannis to take the lead. Giannis gets fouled next possession in the final few seconds, and this man clowns him because he missed the free throw that hit the front of the rim. Like, all please show the clip. Well, all day long, all podcast long, and then for the rest of the season till it got to playoff time, he would mention it. I'm not gonna get into him too much, but listen, you want to be great, you want to win chips, you got to make your free throws. That's number one. You have to make your free throws. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna go into them that much because all the greats have missed their clutch shots or clutch free throws when they needed to at least once, you know?
I'm not trying to sound like a casual, but Tatum made him look bad, and him just missing the free throw just made him look just horrendous. That's all I gotta say, man.
Yeah, Tatum. That was a great move. A little cross flip, step back.
That was beautiful. Nah, that wasn't just a great move. That was beautiful. And it was over Giannis 2020 MVP. Who's your MVP again?
Giannis is my MVP. Yo, you are such a hater. Like, it's crazy how much you hate on Giannis.
Oh my God.
You realize he still had 35 and 13.
With a game winner right in his face.
If the Bucks played better, then wouldn't have to be a game winner.
And also he missed the free throw. They got an opportunity to tie the game and he missed. It hit in front of the rim.
You're such a casual. You sound like all those casual fans on IG that say that Giannis. This is why Giannis shouldn't have been MVP. This is why Giannis can't succeed in the NBA. This is why Giannis can't win a championship.
He couldn't even hit the back of the rim. He hit the front of the rim. It didn't even get nowhere close friend to get the rebound.
Never say you like Giannis.
I love Giannis.
By the end of the season, there was no mention of it anymore. And as you see, his attitude completely shifted, took a 180 on Giannis, and he took that hate, replicated it, duplicated it, and put it onto the Golden State Warriors.
All right, don't do that.
I mean, hey, just go back to the podcast. You see how we acted with Giannis back then. You see how he acts now. Now it's more of a respect thing. Now it's more of a likability thing. Hey, Giannis does vibes. That's all I gotta say. But I really do hope Giannis can do vibes. Because like I said, my favorite player. I really want the Bucks to win. I really do. But Middleton is a big loss, and I can't just overlook that. I can't overlook that. And I can't overlook what the Boston Celtics just did to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving. Yeah. And that's another thing I gotta mention with Kevin Durant and all these people that's trying to bring down his legacy and try to disrespect him. No. I haven't been watching the same player for the past 10 years. I just want everybody to know. Because he has one bad performance in this series. His worst performance in the playoffs, yes. And instead of people, giving credit to the Boston Celtics, they want to diminish and, hate on Kevin Durant like he's just an average player. Like he's just, he's not big for these moments. Have we seen like a lot of y'all just are so recency biased, and just because y'all don't like the player's personality, y'all choose to hate on that game. If you don't like KD personally, go ahead. I don't know. I mean, I don't know him personally, so I'm not gonna tell my opinion on how I view him. But I've seen his game. I've seen Kevin Durant play. That is one of the best players I've ever seen with my own two eyes. It's one of the most skilled players I've ever seen with my own two eyes. It's one of the greatest players I've ever seen and ever watched. Y'all disrespect has gotten way too out of hand with all that. The Boston Celtics played a great defensive scheme and had a great defensive game plan. That's it. Kevin Durant has never played like this ever. So why is all this criticism and all these idiots coming at his head for? It makes absolutely no sense. Now he's an overrated player. What? Are you kidding me? Out of everything, I've heard people call KD cupcake, soft, Twitter fingers, snake, overrated. What? And it's not like everybody has always praised Kevin Durant. We've criticized him when we needed to criticize him. He's been criticized for the 3-1 lead he blown in OKC. He's been criticized for not getting that OKC championship in OKC. He's been criticized for, obviously, to this day, leaving OKC to join the Warriors. To this day, he's still criticized for that.
And that's the only thing that I kept saying that people was going to bring up. I'm not saying it's a bad thing with KD, but I said that's the only thing that people, when they look back at the fact that he lost in this series, people are going to start bringing up the fact that he left for a certain situation to come to a situation like this, thinking that he needs to still prove a point. In my opinion, it is what it is. Both players do what they got to do.
That's another thing. So everybody hated on him when he joined Golden State, and now people was like, "Why did you leave Curry?"
Exactly. It's just like the man can't do no right, I guess, at this point to people's eyes.
Come on, man.
At the end of the day, he's still a champion, regardless if he's a bus driver or a bus rider. You know what I mean? He's still a champion. He's
Charles,
still
TNT got it for that.
It doesn't bother anybody. It doesn't bother him. It doesn't bother anybody else. Without the big homies. But yeah, at the end of the day, let's be honest. That this is just the world that we live in terms of sports and media. You get them some power. They love to go overboard and go out of control, take advantage, and say whatever they want.
It's just ridiculous, and not everybody trying to compare. Well, KD's just not. I told you he's not on the level of LeBron. Why do I always talk about Bron?
Exactly. And
Jesus Christ.
And let me tell you something. That also came back up. KD versus LeBron. So let me tell you something. At the end of the day, if you want to speak bad, just know LeBron not in the playoffs. No disrespect to him, but we're not gonna do that. But
any time to mention Braun, I mean, Jesus Christ, that just gets so annoying. I don't know what else to mention.
Exactly.
Before.
But at the end of the day, let me just leave it off with this single statement. Believe it or not, all of the greatest players that ever touched the basketball has had at least one bad series. At least one bad series. With the exception of Michael Jordan. But every other greats have had one bad series. Trust and believe that. You could go back, you run tape, do your history whatsoever, but just trust and believe. You come across every Larry Bird, who's your favorite legend of all time, Magic Johnson, who else? Wilt Chamberlain, possibly, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Like they have all had a moment in which they struggled in a series.
Modern players, Damian Lillard,
LeBron James averaged 17 in the finals.
You didn't have to mention that, but
let's be honest. Come on, have you ever thought LeBron would ever average under 25 a day in his life?
But the point you're trying to make is, yes, everybody has one of those down moments, but to think that KD is like overrated or just he's not as good as everybody thinks he is, or he's just a good player, and not everybody's just his legacy. All of a sudden, he's not a top 20 player all time, and all this. Like, y'all gotta shut up. Y'all get so caught up in the moment sometimes. Yeah, I just immediately remove everything that we saw Kevin Durant do. This is off of one moment. This is off of one series.
Yeah.
Relax with all that. Because Kevin Durant is still that dude. He is still that bad man.
And he will cook your favorite player if he's not your favorite player.
Yeah, like, come on. I'm sorry that he couldn't do anything against the number one ranked defense and being double teamed and trapped all series long.
And bumped and hustled like he he plays for a New York team and he got hustled like they was New Yorkers, to be honest.
Yeah, like come on, like the Celtics played great. Give the Celtics credit. The Celtics deserve all the credit. So I'm trying to diminish somebody just because they have one bad series. I hate that, especially someone like Kevin Durant's stature. Please.
Well, he's just slender, bro. So he need to put on some weight and stop.
Saw him try to back down Chris Paul and OKC. I'll never forget that. Oh my God. I'm back down Chris Paul. Chris Paul 10 inches shorter than him, and he could not move. Right. That's enough about Kevin Durant. And let's just wrap things up with predictions for, as of this recording, today's set of games, which is game 1 of the second round series that we was just talking about. ABC, 1 o'clock. Defending champions Milwaukee Bucks go into Boston to battle the Boston Celtics. Ja, game 1. What do you have?
I got Bucks in the game 1 upset.
Wow. Interesting take. I got the Celtics in game 1.
No game winner this time, Tatum. If he
Listen,
makes a game winner, what I'm gonna be telling, I'm gonna be like, yo, what the hell?
we'll see what happens. And another game 1. Well, obviously all these game 1s. 3:30 ABC. Battle in the Western Conference. Them degenerates in Memphis have home court, and they will battle the Golden State Warriors. Game 1. Who do you got?
Golden State.
Golden State. That was for today's lineup. And since we're going to be doing a podcast still a few more days, why don't we do Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday?
Let's go.
Monday, game 1. 76ers Heat in Miami. Heat. Next, after that doubleheader, TNT, 10 o'clock. Luka Doncic and them Dallas Mavericks go to Phoenix to battle the Phoenix Suns.
I still got Phoenix, though.
I agree. I got Phoenix. And I actually was going to do game 2 of those series, but let's just hold off on that. Let's just do the game 1. So game 1, Celtics, Bucks. Ja has Bucks. I have the Celtics. Warriors, Grizzlies. We both have the Warriors. Heat, Sixers. We both have the Heat. And Mavericks, Suns. We both have the Suns. It was an entertaining and intriguing first round. Hope to see that and more in the second round as we inch just little by little closer to the NBA Finals.
That point guard matchup is going to be beautiful versus in Dallas versus Phoenix.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, I have Chris Paul going 14-14. That's performed so great. Like, on best players group, best night, they can't go perfect. Hell, Chris Paul, he can't do that again.
No, he can't do that again. No.
That's only one. That's once.
Yeah.
Once in a blue moon. Like, that's how spectacular he was.
Yeah.
It was just a legendary performance, man.
We got to remind people that without shoes, he's like 5'10".
Yeah, point God. God. All right, John. Let's wrap things up and call it. Anything else you want to say?
Embarrassing, Minnesota. Embarrassing. Go on.
My cat. Man, I'm looking forward to the second round, and I hope you are too. So, all that being said, thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into our next podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, support the channel, give us feedback, all that good stuff.
Also, tune into our social medias, our TikTok and our Instagram.
Yes. And of course, once again, I'm Evan.
I'm Juju.
And this was the Minor Basketball Podcast Playoff Edition.
Season number 2.
It's our cat.